Okay. Copy. Okay. All right. 5. Okay. All right. Wonder if I never don't. All right. Let's share this on Instagram. Live on YouTube. Low weekly outlook. Okay.
This tiny editing trick made my
Cool.
videos go.
All right, gang. How's everybody doing? What happened, yo? Hope you guys all had a good weekend.
Viral.
Now, let's talk about what is going on this week and this stacked ass economic calendar that we got. This economic calendar is flooded with 10 a.m. tomorrow. Wednesday is cracked out, and we have Facebook or Meta, Microsoft earnings after close on Wednesday, and we have Amazon and Apple, I believe, on Thursday after close, right before the day before NFP. So Wednesday, Thursdays are going to be like fireworks, and then obviously the new open of the monthly candle on Friday. So like it's going to be a whole lot of popping back and forth. Now, like, let's start off by like looking at the charts as to what we're doing here and how we're doing everything. So before we like kind of move to anything below these higher time frames, right now, obviously, we'll start off with indices, and then we'll go to gold, we'll go into foreign currencies, and then we'll go into crypto. So right now, I have like a couple different perspectives as to how price can move. If I look at the monthly chart on both or on all three of our indices right now, our closure of the monthly candles in 3 days. Now, what typically happens and what tends to happen for NFP? It's typically known for setting the low or the high of the month at that data release. Now, if we're going to get a closure, depending on how this goes or how we react from all the news events prior with the FOMC, the earnings, and everything else before, depending on how these monthly candles close, like let's say it's a bearish sentiment for the FOMC, it's a bearish sentiment for the earnings, and we close relatively like a smaller body, I would anticipate the monthly candle for August to come down and tag into any of these monthly bullish fair value gaps on either the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, or the NASDAQ. I still think higher prices. I still want to see price go higher until the Dow Jones takes out all-time highs. I definitely believe that. But I think that what could happen is if we get some sort of retracement, we get some sort of pullback from all this crazy news that we have this week, I don't see why we wouldn't come back down and retrace into a monthly internal range liquidity pool, because we already took out a monthly external high. If price can just do what it typically does, the usual thing is price takes out old highs and lows and rebalances imbalances, aka retagging and rebalancing this monthly bullish fair value gap. That's a first case scenario. Now, if we go to the weekly chart and I look at what's going on here, I don't have any imbalances on the NASDAQ. I don't have anything of reference point on the S&P 500 in this impulse move here. The only thing that actually is in alignment with that monthly gap is this untapped weekly gap resting here. But there's also SMT with the Dow Jones at that weekly gap tag. So if that still remains as a breakaway gap and price still wants to trend higher, then this is going to be respected and price will just move higher and we just continue in bullish order flow. And NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow just make higher highs and higher lows without tagging this gap. It's all speculation right now. I'm just putting out scenarios into my head. I'm not marrying a bias. I'm not staying strict to the first scenario of saying, oh, price has to go down to this monthly gap. No, it doesn't. It's just a possible scenario that I'm playing into my head as to what could happen from all of this crazy high impact news. If I look at the daily chart between the daily chart right now, no imbalances on the NASDAQ, but we actually have something on the S&P 500 that I think that price should trade down into. I like to see the S&P 500 reach and take out the lows from Thursday, tagging down into this daily bullish fair value gap resting here. I think that that's a good sentiment for price to come down lower before going higher. I would hope to see that. Now, if we can get something like this or a trade down into here, maybe tomorrow, then I'll look to catch shorts tomorrow from what news releases. And then same thing if price comes down into the gap and then we react bullish off of it, I'll look to frame longs off of this gap and just continue trading fair value gap to external range high. Simple, easy peasy narrative build and bias framework. It's really not that hard and simple, or not that complicated to figure out. And like I'm doing all of this and I'm looking and locating for POIs and it takes me less than 10 seconds. Be patient and I'll show you exactly what I'm looking at. I'm going over indices first and then I'm going to go over gold and then I'm going to go over foreign currencies and then crypto. So just wait. But all I'm looking for is fair value gaps on our higher time frame, looking for these tags and just certain POIs where I can see price either drawing down into or price looking to frame trades off of. So since I don't have anything on my daily or my weekly right now, I don't want to take a trade, neither will I frame a trade. There's no point, and I have no POI from our higher time frame as to what to do next because we're at all-time highs. We're in uncharted territories. I don't know what to do here. So I need to wait and be sidelined until then. Up until that point, I would only like to look to see if price can trade down into this daily bullish fair value gap on the S&P 500. And then we go from there. As of right now, there's no SMT at any of these highs. Everything is correlated as of right now between the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. So that's current bias and view on the indices right now. For gold, this looks like certified butt cheeks. And if you guys are trading this shit, you have mental problems and you probably need to go see a doctor. We have been trading within the previous monthly candle since April. Literally like back to back to back monthly inside candles. You should not be trying to trade this. This is horrible. If I get tagged in another trade on gold, I swear to God, I will block you and I'll have a mental breakdown. This is disgusting and stop asking me for analysis on it because this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Only thing that looks relatively appealing to me is if silver comes down into the previous monthly gap and tags this monthly bullish fair value gap, we drop lower. That's it. I do not care what gold does. Neither will I frame a singular trade on this thing until we get out of this range. I don't trade ranges. I don't trade consolidation. I trade trending markets, not this horse shit. So stop asking me about metals. This is horrible and disgusting. Again, wait until I get to that point because I'm going to go over everything. So nothing on gold at all unless we get a new monthly candle open having silver tag that monthly bullish fair value gap here. Now let's look at foreign currencies. Foreign currencies actually was what I wanted to see the most this week. I wanted to see euro trade higher from this weekly bullish fair value gap here. Now, unfortunately, I woke up this morning and it was in the trenches and we completely violated everything. Traded below this swing low here. We violated this bullish order block and the dollar went haywire and completely just blasted through this daily gap, this volume imbalance, this daily gap here. So I don't like to see that as of right now. What I am doing moving forward from this point on is I'm paying attention to this monthly chart on both GBP USD and Euro USD. Now, what could I be possibly paying attention to on this monthly chart? This potential monthly bullish fair value gap that is forming in the next 3 days. And this low end monthly bullish fair value gap on the pound. Now, if I look at the monthly for the dollar index, where could this possibly be trading into? It's really depending on how high dollar wants to go. If GBP is going to come all the way down here to this untapped monthly gap, then why wouldn't dollar come all the way up here into this monthly untapped bearish fair value gap? But if that happens and dollar rips all the way up here, then euro will not withstand this gap, or at least maybe it digs a little lower inside of it, because I know euro pound is very strong right now. And if euro pound is bullish, then we're going to get weakness out of the pound and strength out of the euro. So I will be waiting to see what happens next here and how we react on the next monthly open, because that's how I'm going to capitalize and that's how I'm going to come into euro and trade anything. I don't have anything right now on this time frame from the weekly. I have nothing on the daily. I don't like any of this. I only wanted to take a trade on Euro USD if we had a strong, solid hold inside of this gap, while also not completely flipping like this. This is not something that I want to see, or at least looking to flip to take longs when we've already dumped just crazy dramatic like there. So that's not on my radar anymore. So don't get me wrong, this week is going to be like, I'm going to be super picky in regards to the trades that I take, but this is summer months and this is exactly how like shit was last summer, and it's the same thing this summer. We're at extreme price conditions and you need to be very picky in regards to your trade setups. And if you're coming into the day and every single day of the week looking to frame trades and you're frustrated with yourself about how you're just kind of getting screwed, then it's on you, because you keep on failing to understand that it's day trading, not everyday trading. Bitcoin is something that I want to see go higher from this weekly bullish fair value gap. We have the SMT within it. We have the forever model set up here. I want to see Bitcoin hold this 4-hour bullish order block, and hopefully it can go higher. If it doesn't go higher from here and it just flips and kind of fades away, news will obviously tell what it will do next. But if Bitcoin trades lower and takes another dig deeper inside of that weekly gap, then I'll look to frame another setup on it, because ETH is still super strong, but also could turn back around and run into this weekly gap. So that is what I see right now. Yeah, I was bullish on euro until I woke up this morning, bro, if you couldn't hear me. I was bullish on euro. I woke up this morning and euro was all the way down here. I'm not bullish on euro anymore. Like what? I had analysis. The analysis didn't go my way, aka I'm not following that analysis anymore. If price does this, then I will do that. Price didn't do exactly what I needed it to do, so therefore I don't do anything. You get it? It's not that hard to understand. But as of right now, I really want to see, or like moving into the rest of the week, is S&P 500 tagging this gap on the daily, and then we could frame a trade from there. Or frame a trade into that daily gap. That's what I would like to see. Because I'm just going to stay bullish on the indices until the Dow Jones clears out this high and then all-time highs. Because that's a clean sentiment of a market maker buy model. But again, like I'm waiting for confirmation on my higher time frames and then just kind of moving and running from there. I don't have a sentiment for foreign currencies anymore, guys. I don't. I only wanted the longs. I don't like anything else. My analysis and everything is backed now from like the fair value gaps, from the trend that we were in. We were in a bullish trend on the euro, making higher highs and higher lows, just retracing into a fair value gap. Price is now violating that fair value gap. So therefore, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to take the trade, neither will I give it any attention. It is what it is sometimes. But now I'll focus on indices, and I'll focus to see if Bitcoin can hold this area in price from the order block, or if it wants to go back lower and ETH wants to go into this gap here. But only news is going to tell based off of that. I would not trade. I literally, I'd rather shoot myself in the foot than trade this thing. This looks horrendous. But again, like my trading style does not, I don't thrive in ranges or consolidation. I don't like trading ranges. Other people do, and it matches their personality, it matches their style, but I don't. So I won't trade it. That's it. It's not that hard to understand. It's just whatever really makes sense to you. You know what I mean? And that's how all of you guys should operate. You shouldn't really care about what other people do. You should care about what you do and what makes sense based off of your model and your strategy and your edge. Yes, you should forget about gold. Honestly, delete it off of your watch list until it cleans out one side of the range. This thing is disgusting. Only time I will focus on gold is when I'll literally just only look at this monthly chart and primarily only focus on gold when this happens. AKA we get this monthly gap tag here, like on silver, and then we clean out some sort of previous monthly low. That's literally it. I also don't have oil on my watch list too. If you look at oil, what has oil been doing for months on end? Oil has been ranging and doing literally nothing. What has gold been doing? Ranging and absolutely nothing. So therefore, I don't like trading it. I don't trade ranges. I trade trending markets, and all my strategy is waiting for the higher time frame to tag a fair value gap. I frame the trade off of the fair value gap. The market literally does one of two things. We have an impulse, we have a retracement, and then I catch the impulse back up like this from a fair value gap or a run of an external lower high. That's it. Nothing. No rocket science. No rocket science here. Yes, exactly that. All price does is take out old highs and lows and rebalance imbalances. Exactly like how the Dow was here. We took out this high here. We came back down, rebalanced the imbalance, created the SMT right there, and then price expanded, taking out the old high again. That's it. I always start off my analysis from a higher time, like literally from the monthly, and then I'll go from the monthly to the weekly. If nothing's clear on the monthly, go to the weekly. If nothing's clear on the weekly, I go to the daily. And if nothing's clear on the daily at all, I do not trade. Like nothing. I don't look for anything. I don't need to unless there's like something that is historical to take out to the left or whatever, and there's an SMT like a previous daily high or low, and we get a good reaction off of that point. That's what I would like. I've been trading London for a while. Also New York. What's your opinion on trading 2 sessions? I don't trade 2 sessions, and it's really just all dependent on what you want to do. I think that New York session will always be the best, but I have also never traded London. I saw you guys or some people take trades from here, from this 4 hour to 15 minute, and this was literally the prime example as to why to avoid a Monday with no news. Like this was kind of like this was not worth the trade today. Like we had a massive new week opening gap. There was no news today. We had all it was just like we had a little SMT set in here. I know exactly what you're talking about because I ended stream right before this even happened. Like this was just a day of just engineering liquidity. I know you took this trade without you even saying it. You took this trade with this change in save delivery. You bought here and then you got cucked. Like this. Just looking to take out the highs. We already had a gap up. We had London setting in the high here. And then price came back down. You longed, and then you got fucked. You don't trade when price is just trending between this new week opening gap. There's really the only thing that you have is a new week opening gap and not even an imbalance. This was just nothing to really. I mean, you had Dow Jones as imbalance, but like this was not something that like I had any like intention to touch. Why? Because like I said before, nothing on either the weekly or the daily was clear to me, so I had no idea or what direction. Damn, Ralph still got mods. You could ban whoever you want, Ralph. The daily I had no idea where the daily candle should be expanding because I had no reference point from our higher time frames. So therefore, I didn't want to take a trade. I wanted to take a trade on the euro because I had the backing behind a weekly bullish fair value gap. So therefore, I wanted to look for longs when I woke up in the morning, but this came in the shitter and just just was horrible. So therefore, I had no sentiment on this after waking up to seeing that, and I had nothing on the daily at the bare minimum to frame anything for an intraday trade on indices. Like literally nothing. I didn't trade today, Ralphie. I need a Zen right now. But just like think about that when you're looking to take trades moving forward. Just like understand if you're like looking to take a trade during New York session, what like you want to be able to anticipate like how are you going to frame the trade in the anticipation of the formation of the daily candle because you want to catch the body and the expansion of it. Like we want to see tomorrow, hopefully, we want to see this daily bullish fair value gap come into play. So if price opens higher or like we set like an SMT set in during London, then we could anticipate price to hopefully expand lower and continue lower into New York for the body of that candle reaching into this daily gap with the wick forming within. That's kind of like the ideology as to what I'm doing when I'm looking for these trades intraday. And nothing's really set in on the Dow. We didn't even take out the previous daily low yet here. So I really do think that the S&P should reach into this. What do I anticipate tomorrow for euro? Not like literally nothing. And if you Ralph, if you're still in here, you could put him in timeout if he asks for gold again because I'm not looking at gold. Hell no. Hell no. Hell to the no. No, no, no. I am going to anticipate euro to here's the thing. We already went from an internal tag here, this fair value gap, to pound taking out this external low here. So we have an SMT set in here at these lows, but I do think that euro comes down to 115.567 if we have like such this super strong closure on the dollar index for the daily, because the dollar probably wants to reach and tag out this high here at 98.950. So if dollar runs this high, then we're probably going to run this low on euro USD. And then we have like some relative equal highs above on dollar, like right here. So I don't really know kind of what this thing wants to do besides dollar giving me a clean idea that this thing wants this high and potentially even this high above. So we might get that. That's my guess as to how price is kind of rolling right now. But GBP, super weak. I'm really thinking this monthly gap is vulnerable. And then if we get NFP to set in the low of the month, if we're going to get a flip around, it would be within this monthly gap here. So that's my sentiment right now. Could be a sell. Appreciate it, brother. Check. No. Guys, I'm going to get diagnosed with like AIDS and like eye AIDS and chlamydia if I have to look at gold again. Like, you should be able to look at this and not have to care. Like, this is nothing. Like, I don't want to look at this. Look at it on your own time. This is horrible. I focus on what is clear to me on a higher time frame perspective, and then I'll attack, then I'll lay on risk. I don't lay on risk when shit is doing nothing. Like, no. Hell no. No shot. No shot. There's a reason why I haven't traded oil in a while, and there's a reason why you haven't seen a gold trade in a while. I will gladly wait. But who knows? Maybe the news this week can provide some sort of clarity to get us out of this. And once we get out of this, we could figure out what to do next. That's all we need to do. Like, I could literally just clear these alerts on gold and just take my... I have so many alerts on gold here. Oh, my God. I need to delete all of these, because the only alert that I should have on gold right now is the previous monthly high and the previous monthly low, and nothing in between that. Like, I should literally only have, and same with all of you, an alert at 3251.5 and then an alert at 3476.5. Primarily, what we're probably going to see is the run of the previous monthly low from how this monthly candle is forming. So we want to see price come down lower, take out the range, and then go to the range high. And then hopefully at the same time, simultaneously, we get the range low from silver, cleaning out the low that we set in on June, and then we can go and attack and trade trending higher. You know? Yeah, like, you want to look at oil's monthly chart? Yeah, but see, what about this? If I look at oil's monthly chart, let's go back. I could already spot this. What about here? We're about to create an order block here. What about this? What about this order block? Swept out a low here. Closed above there. You bought that monthly order block? You would have been boned. Because we're still within a range. Like literally still in a range. Like this thing could close above this, and then it could come straight back down and bone you, and therefore you wouldn't be able to walk the next day. Like no, this thing I have no idea what this thing wants to do. Like if I look at even this is the yearly chart on oil right now. Like we have been inside of pause the 2022 yearly candle. We've been consolidating for literally 3 years, 4 years. This is cheeks. So don't put on risk on something that just you really can't tell what it wants to do, because it could go higher, it could also go lower. It's just not worth the live capital. Like I could tell you if gold swept out this low here and had a crazy reaction off of this low, I would long the shit out of it. I would long it all the way up to these relative equal highs above. And then disappear. This week should move a lot. With FOMC, Fed meeting, and then we also have those crazy earnings Wednesday and Thursday, and we have NFP. This week is going to be crazy. Just be patient enough for the news to come in to provide the manipulation and then take the trade. Like if you guys watched my Instagram reel that I put out today, what did I say on my Instagram reel? I said that price should do and how to trade 8:30 news. I'll do it and I'll make it again really quick. So like if I have this schematic here and I have price going impulse high, impulse low, like just a simple move higher. And then I see price retrace down lower like this. Retracing into what? Retracing into a fair value gap. Let's say this. Fair value gap. Like literally exactly how I made my Instagram reel. So when there's like tomorrow, we have 10 o'clock news. So let's put this into perspective of having 10 o'clock news tomorrow. So 10 o'clock news, let's say, is right here. This is 10 a.m. And let's say we're trading indices. This is 10 a.m. high impact news. Let's say 9:30 comes in right here, and 9:30 we actually provide the manipulation. Let me fix this. 9:30 comes in, boom, and sweeps out short-term lows, clears a liquidity pool, and that is a big one singular down close candle or a manipulation leg lower at that key time that clears liquidity and creates an SMT just like this. Now, what we can anticipate if that happens at 9:30, because 8:30 is null, we don't care about that. We can anticipate if we get a change in save delivery after that after 9:30 open, we can guess that 10 o'clock will be the continuation and frame an open low high close and news to provide us the volatility injection higher, not news driving lower again, creating another manipulation. That's not what we're anticipating. It's not what we're probably going to see. We're going to see price either at 9:30 provides us a manipulation with an SMT, and then we get a bullish reaction or a bearish reaction after. We get an entry at after the 9:30 open before news, or news provides the entry. That's it. That is it. Take care, my friend. Take care, yo. But is this outlook, at least of what I said in regards to the pairs that I'm looking at, are you guys kind of on the same sort of headspace and like have the same sort of outlook that I have right now? This is going to be a whole lot of waiting this week. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be a whole lot of waiting. You could execute on the inverse fair value gap too. You have to watch my last YouTube video that I also posted on that hour-long class on how I execute my trades. You'll see the order block. You'll see the inverse fair value gap. I go over the times of them. I go over the risk parameters behind them and the breaker block as well. Just watch all of that. Just like watch it all. It's an hour-long class of gems as to how I get into all of my trades. So far, what we have this week should be good and should provide us some moves. Hopefully, it's not a week of like straight up fuckery, but regardless, if I take anything, win or loss, you'll see it posted on YouTube, Instagram, everything. So I'll have everything broken down. I'll probably do another YouTube live at the end of the week, just so that we can get a weekly recap, because we're doing a weekly outlook now, so we can do a weekly recap as to everything that I took and how the week went. So we could do that. All right, sweet. I would definitely not do this stream every single day. I'm way too busy to do this shit every day. All right. All right. The forever model hasn't changed a bit. It's just me incorporating, adding more like confluence to the model, aka looking for the second stages of SMT at the key times, besides only one stage of SMT from an hourly and a 4-hour perspective. Looking for the trade after 9:30 open. Yeah, you want to focus on if there's 10 o'clock news like tomorrow, you want to focus on 9:30 open, because 9:30 can provide that volatility injection to give the SMT and the manipulation. If 9:30 is dull, then wait for 10 o'clock high impact news to provide its direction or its Judas swing for the day. Same thing as if there's 8:15 or 8:30 high impact news, you would wait to see if 8:30 or 8:15 high impact news provided a manipulation in an SMT, and if it did not, then 9:30 would be what it does. And if 8:30 provided the manipulation, then you anticipate 9:30 to move in the opposing direction after the 8:30 news is hit. That's what you guys want to focus on. You got me? But I wanted to make this short and sweet and straight to the point. We went over everything. I hope that this plays out to our expectations. I hope that we have a great trading week and price delivers not in a gay way. So let's cross our fingers. Hopefully tomorrow we can get a drop down lower into this daily gap on the S&P 500, or we frame a trade off of this daily gap and we wait. So let's give that the focus tomorrow. I don't have any sort of bias or focus on foreign currencies or metals. Only thing that I'll probably prioritize tomorrow is the index market. So I'll be watching to see if I can catch anything from a daily to an hourly to an M5 perspective tomorrow, if everything is alignment to our expectations. But thank you guys all for joining. Also, FYI, I believe so NFP is on Friday. Apex has its 90% off sale that expires and ends, I believe, in 1 day, 1 or 2 days. So make sure that you're stacking those accounts. If you use code SNIPER at the checkout, the 90% off, get fucking 20 accounts, copy trade them all, dumb cheap. I think they're $18 for 50K accounts. Get 20 of those bitches and max those out. I'll be there. I'll be right there with you, and I will protest the White House as well. So I'll be right next to you. Or we find Jerome Powell and we just beat his ass. I'm cool with that. Yes, I'm in on Bitcoin as well. What's up, Bex? Literally came in right at the end. But if you want to see more of these, I better see at least over 100 likes on this live stream. We'll do, if there's over 100 likes on the live stream, we'll do a weekly recap and drop some comments on some more recommendations. And hopefully we bank this week and you guys all make a lot of fucking money. All right? So have a great rest of your day. Touch some grass, see the sun, and I will talk to you guys all later on. Deuces, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.